Chapter 2. Your Earth Bubble. There are an unlimited number of these bubbles, if you want to call them that are exploring physicality from a multitude of possibilities and probabilities. Remember, we said consciousness is. Consciousness is the source of all possibilities and probabilities within this particle universe. As we have also said, all of you creators come from creator core selves that experience different forms of physicality. We, individually, are what you would refer to as a core self. A core self is all-encompassing. It gathers information from different sources. There is more than one creator core self. There are gillions of creator core selves. A creator core self is a collector of all this information that is taking place through the bodily constructs in physicality. The creator core selves evolve as a result of gathered experiences from all its creations. This includes gathering all the information taking place through your plants, your animals, etc. Everything that you have in your world planetary existence is being experienced and gathered by creator core selves. The creator core selves that decided to work on this version of physicality began with a unique building block you call your atom. They created this atom out of swirls of energy, and these swirls of energy were made up of certain particles to produce the desired end result. There are gillions of particles that go into making only one atom. The atom is the building block of this planetary system called your world. Atoms are composed of units of energy. When we speak of this universe as being a particle universe, we are not speaking of matter particles. These are energy particles. These energy particles are of many different components. For example, let's pretend the known elements are the letters of the alphabet. ABC coagulates to form an energy particle. HIJ does the same thing. JDZ does the same thing. With the last two particles you have a common element, which is J. These two with J begin the forming of a unit. These are what we call energy particles. How many different unit combinations form that which you call an atom? You are all familiar with atom smashers. You know the amount of mechanical force needed to smash an atom. This will give you some idea of the process that is called building energy particles into atoms. This is very simplistic, but it will give you some idea as to how energy is used in your particle universe. All of your light, color, sound and electromagnetic forms of energy are built into your basic atom. This is not the case in most of the other bubbles of physicality. That's why you have a difference in all your atoms. That's why your bodies work the way they do. As these creator core selves began to work on building the atom, that atom began to have a vitality of its own. It seemed to come alive. It would interact with other atoms. It would be attracted to some and repelled by others. They would even spin in opposite directions. This is why your atom has also been referred to as a life spark. The energy of life is inherent in your world in a way that has nothing to do with your so-called physical laws. We kept working with the atoms and found that there was a way of putting things together so that the squiggly lines of the hologram and all that was the hologram became organized so that it took on a shape. Each shape was individual in itself, because when it was found that we could organize these energies, they still had a shape. So that even if they were just squiggly energy lines, they also had a shape. A whole new stage of development began to unfold, putting particles together into holograms and making them animated. A good number of projects were developed along those lines. This caused a great deal of excitement, because this was the first time that anyone could perceive anything that was being able to be worked with. In other words, we could mentally shape them and were able to get them to work together so that they didn't all fall apart. In the beginning, we would put things together and they would fall apart. Then we would all laugh and start over again. We can't laugh, but you get the idea. Finally, we found that by putting certain atoms together, what we had were atoms within a hologram and they would remain organized. Remember, anything that is built out of particles automatically results in a hologram. This is one of the characteristics of consciousness. It maintains holograms. This was the first time that anyone had ever put things together to the point where they could be perceived as something. You put another two atoms together, with a little different configuration of the particles, and they are attracted to each other or repelled. They all react differently. The creator is not the master of their creations. They are simply the creators, but do not attempt to control their creations in any way. Creativity does not deal with compartments. All creators only create another type of creator. Everything in your physicality is a type of creator, including rocks. Everything in physicality is a living creator. You, the animals, birds, plants, fish and trees are all individual types of creators.